Today is Monday, August, let's call it 19th. Yeah, 2024. It is drizzling, overcast, northwest wind, probably 15 miles an hour, and it is like 63 degrees. So this, for Buffalo in August, mid-August, is chilly. But, compared to 20 below in the wintertime, this is very warm. So it is a refreshing day, refreshing summer day to be out and not sweating. You can see I have a thicker shirt on today. So here is the project we've been preparing for like a month and a half by doing all that chipper box work and a chipper chute and making the bridge bigger. So this is like a big wood pile, brush pile, and I want to chip this because I want the chips for the trail here, over there, a lot of places. So the intent is to chip this, and this is like just too hard to get my Subaru pulling the chipper around tight angles. It's a long load. So I'm going to chip this, and then we're going to move the brush pile on the main trail where it's easier to get that chipper to. But for now, we need to chip this, and there's like a lot of stuff to chip here. That's a good chunk, but that's my plan. That's what I feel I should do, chip this, and then we'll make this into, maybe this is where we'll store logs on their way to the sawmill. So here's kind of the intent. We're going to drive my Subaru pulling the wood chipper this way, make a kind of a tight turn. I've done this once. I have to swing really, really wide way over here and pull this way, drive almost straight off into oblivion this way, and then swing tight between these two posts, and that will get the chipper about the back end about here, and I can start loading into the hopper. And the chute is going to be about here, and my thought is to fire the chips at some vertical panels that will deflect the chips into a big pile on the ground. I have not tried this. This is the first time, so I'm just doing a little prep work, realizing it probably needs a bunch of modifications. But this is a panel from the chipper box, an old panel that I replaced with a newer one. So my thought is to make some panels like this, maybe with some cleats or something on here, that this will sit on the front and on the back, angled towards me, towards the chipper, right? So it's going to be angled, so when the chips come in and hit, they'll come back down instead of straight out. So that's about a 6-foot panel. Like I would put more boards all the way down to the bottom. It's 3 foot wide. That's a 7-foot by 3/4 support. I have some of those that are just, can't use them for anything else because they're punky wood, but I could use them for some support. And I'm thinking I'm needing probably at least one side and maybe 3 across the back if I'm shooting at this angle, then have it deflect down. So that 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. And I think if I need something in front, I have those lower ones that I can temporarily use from the sawmill scrap boxes to prototype this to something more working. So I guess the point is I need to make some panels. Looks like 4 panels I'll make that are 3 foot wide, 7 foot tall. And I'll get some support strips, 2 support strips for each, so 4 times 3, 12 support strips. And we'll set them up and we'll try and see if they're going to work or what's going to be better. So this is like temporary. So I just need to get all this chipped out, and then this will not be a chip pile. I don't need anything permanent here because I'll take those out. I'll have a pile of chips, and once I use the chips, then this will just go back to regularly scheduled programming. But those panels will be movable because, like, I'm probably going to move the brush pile over here where it used to be, and then it's easy to get the chipper into here, and then right across, like over in here, I would make a chip pile, and then I'd move the panels over here, and you know, down there I have like 2 or 3 more pretty big chip piles that I can move those panels when I'm ready to chip, and just instead of putting them into a cart and hauling them and unloading them, I'll just shoot them at those panels, make a pile in situ, if you will, and then I'll move the panels to the next spot, and I'll just store the panels when I'm not chipping. So that's my thought. Will it work? I don't know. I was able to get the chipper here and out, so now it's just a matter of trying to contain the chips when they're shooting that way. To get this, I have to pull the chipper forward more, so I think this is where the chute's going to be. So then I have to like kind of almost shoot backwards, so then I move the panels along that side and be shooting this way. That's my plan. Alright, so we cut this wood a while ago. This is probably like 9 inches wide, 1/2 inch thick. They're like 7 foot long cottonwood, but they're punky. And I guess I kind of knew that. That's why I cut them thin to use them for this project. So you can see that these are 3/4 inch, that cottonwood, but you can see the nails just pull right out. It's too punky. So I'm going to make the uprights out of 3 inch by 1 inch thick ash, which I think I have some right over there. I think they're the red boards. I started marking them. So I need to rip those on the sawmill. And then I have these, which I'm going to cut 3 foot, 3 foot, 3 foot. And I need, that's going to be my 4th. And I want 4 panels. So that one is not 3 foot, but one. This will be for another one. I got boards here for another, and boards here I'm going to cut for the 4th panel. And I think these 3/4 inch thick cottonwood, which is punky, I'm going to cut them to be like 3 inches wide, and I'm going to use those for the supports front and back to hold it up. That's the plan. So I'm kind of glad I cut all those. I didn't know I was going to use them all, but I think we're going to use them all, plus I need a few more. So that was a good use of all that lumber.